Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the zodiac sign Cancer relationships, and yes, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is, well, as far as the zodiac sign Cancer and relationships go, the first house generally is going to represent the paternal grandmother and maternal grandfather, and the zodiac sign Cancer, of course, will fall on the first house cusp in a solar natal chart. So, for Cancer, this person or people represented, they may one or more may have Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or simply embody Cancer-like characteristics. Maybe one or more of these people may be very nurturing, sympathetic, protective, nostalgic, but yet maybe a little bit brooding, pouting a little bit. People that like to reminisce about past experiences. Introverted, very homebody, dominated by domestic interests, perhaps. And it could even be one or more of these people may be in a Cancerian-like profession. It could be someone involved with home renovation, home repair, roofing, siding, cooking, somebody that might be actually cleaning homes, maybe home security, and in some cases doing something connected with food and culinary work, working in a fast food or restaurant place. And the relationship with these people in general are ones where you may show a lot of sympathy and compassion and really nurture each other, and ones where you're very protective of each other, but the people in the connection may be somewhat sensitive to criticism and ridicule. So anyway, next thing up, looking at Cancer relationships, the third house in astrology represents siblings and cousins, and the zodiac sign Virgo will often fall on the third house cusp in a solar or natal chart for Cancer. So these people, one or more of these people may be a Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or simply embody Virgo-like characteristics. These people may be very analytical, persnickety, punctilious with details, fastidious, people that like to keep things very clean, immaculate, and organized. They could be neat freaks, could be a compulsive, people may be compulsive complainers, very critical, judgmental, but also perhaps very service-oriented, but not ever, or generally speaking, not in an officious manner. And these people might be very neat and very meticulous about the way they dress. And the thing, too, about this as well, it could be one or more of these people may be in a Virgo-like profession, such as something connected with health and fitness. It could be working as a professional organizer, people that work with a lot of details, data entry, data analyst, or computer programming even. Could even be someone that works like in a workout, like a health and fitness club, or in the health profession, such as working as a nutritionist. Another thing too, though, as far as the relationship goes with us siblings and cousins, because Virgo often does fall in the third house cusp in a solar natal chart for Cancer, they could be ones where maybe you're very critical and judgmental of each other, but also where you're of service a lot to each other as well. And really, that could be, how it's basically how that can go. So anyway, well, the next thing up, as far as Cancer relationships go, going to the fourth house cusp in a natal chart, Libra will often fall on the fourth house cusp in a solar or natal chart for the zodiac sign Cancer. So, in the fourth house represents the less dominant parent, which is often the mother. So this person may be a Libra, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or simply someone that embodies Libra-like characteristics. It could be somebody that could be rather charming, refined, cultured, about mediation, very equitable and fair-minded, person that abhors injustice and likes fairness, person that could be very much about intellectual sociability, and someone that might have good social skills. Now, Also, too, it could be a person that might be in a Libra like profession. That less dominant parent, often the mother, could be somebody that might actually work as a diplomat, maybe someone in mediation or as a mediator in some profession, negotiator, maybe arbitration, or even a legal field, such as working as an attorney, a bailiff, a judge, court reporter, paralegal. Uh, as far as the relationship goes with this person and the connection, well, it could be one that could be actually rather peaceful, and where you don't really like to make waves with each other. Wherever Libra is in the chart, it seems like it's where complacency can set in, and when you get maybe kind of, it also could be kind of kind of satisfied, and it is really not, and there's really things kind of just might stay as the status quo. I mean, sometimes no news is good news. But the thing about it too is that the connection that you have in regards to Libra being often on the fourth house cusp in a solar natal chart for Cancer is one, as I stated before, could be very peaceful, but could be one where injustice will be abhorred, and if something's not fair or not right, that's when one of you may speak out, or both of you may speak out at some point. So anyway. Well, the next thing up is the fifth house in astrology represents, okay, children and the romantic or love relationship. And Scorpio will often fall on the fifth house cusp in a solar or natal chart for Cancer. So this person, the children, one or more children, or a romantic partner may could be someone with a Scorpio sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply someone that embodies Scorpio-like characteristics. It could be a person that's very, really someone that might be very powerful, intense, incisive, willful, someone that has very strong willpower, but yet might be somewhat surreptitious or sneaky. But this person might have a very strong transforming impact on you. It could be someone that's very resilient, has very good bounce back ability, and be able to see through duplicity and subterfuge in what's superficial. It could also be someone in a Scorpio-like profession, such as working as a mortician, sex therapist, coroner, psychologist, psychiatrist, somebody in the occult supernatural, someone that might work in astrology. And as far as the relationship goes with this person, or one or more of these people, it could be where, as I stated before, about really going beyond the subterfuge and superficiality, and it'd be very hard to prevaricate as far as to each other, and because Scorpio energy is very deep, and it's really energy where it often goes beyond duplicity, and it's often where you want the deep connection as well. So these relationships can be very deep and intense and powerful, and can be transforming as well. So anyway, next thing up is, well, the sixth house in astrology is not just, work relationships, but it also represents the less dominant parents' siblings, and aunts, and potentially, could be aunts and uncles, and generally this will be the mother's siblings in most cases, the less dominant parents. So your aunts and uncles on her side, generally speaking. And with Sagittarius often being on the cusp of the sixth house in a solar or natal chart, for Cancer, this person, one or more of these people, may actually have a Sagittarius sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embody Sagittarius-like characteristics. They could be people that are very jovial, jocular, buoyant, very good-humored, people that are very really light in their manner, people that are very optimistic, philosophical, expansive, exuberant, optimistic, enthusiastic, people that like to see the glass half full, so to speak, as opposed to half empty. One or more of these people could also could be in a Sagittarius-like profession. It could be perhaps working in philosophy or religion, theology, working as a professor at a college university. Somebody that might be in a travel field, such as working as a travel agent, or a pilot or some kind of cruise director or what have you, and or even in publishing. So, but as far as the relationship goes, with these people, it's often one where you can enjoy sharing philosophies within philosophical discussions, ones where abstract thinking is prominent, and really where you can joke around with each other a lot, but at the same time, remember that Sagittarius energy could be very blunt and really forthright, speaking that veritable truth, and really sometimes to the point where you might demoralize each other to some degree. These people might be people that you see, whether they have a Sagittarius sun, moon, or sun or not, people that really do speak their mind, that veritable truth, and can be very, really outspoken with what they say, not necessarily worried about whether feelings get hurt or not, but which of course could really cause some exasperation for the zodiac sign Cancer. So, I mean, I should know since my sun sign is Cancer. So anyway, well, the next thing up is, well, the seventh house in astrology represents the significant other slash marriage partner, but it also is connected, generally speaking, the maternal, grandmother, and paternal grandfather. Really, in Capricorn Capricorn falls on the seventh house cusp in a solar or natal chart for Cancer. So the thing about this is it could be one or more of these people may actually have a Capricorn sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embody Capricorn-like characteristics. They could be people that may seem rather callous or undemonstrative, but yet very serious, consistent, reliable, responsible people. It could even be somebody older or more mature acting than their years. People that could be very very orthodox, conventional, and ones that really are very exceptionally serious and maybe even authoritative as well. And I had a prominent family member. She has a Cancer ascendant, and her of course, Capricorn falls on her seventh house cusp, and she married an older person that was like about 10 years older than her. And sadly, she had her ascendant the 29th degree, critical degree. Her husband passed away at a relatively young age. So, I mean, sadly. So, but anyway, the point being, it was an older person that she had married. Now, the person that I'm talking about that passed away, her husband did not have a Capricorn sun, moon, or ascendant, but he was an older person by about 10 years over her. So that's how I think that may have manifested with her. But back to Capricorn, on the seventh house cusp. Now, the thing about this is that the person may also be in a Capricorn-like profession. It could be someone that may be in dentistry, information technology, doing something with business, doing maybe working as a landlord, a position of authority, someone that works in politics or the government even. So, and also as far as the relationship goes with this person, well, I think you have that balancing going on with Capricorn energy to the Cancerian energy, whether the person actually winds up being a Capricorn sun, moon, or ascendant or not, often can bring more seriousness to Cancer, and maybe greater maturity and consistency. Cancer tends to be a little bit moody and temperamental. That could be a vast understatement, where Capricorn energy is about consistency, reliability, and being disciplined and in more control of the emotions. So, and also the relationship and connection might be one that's very serious, and where actually Cancer might show a little bit more discipline in than they do in most other, or say other aspects or elements of their life. So anyway, next thing up as well, the eighth house in astrology is connected with the intimate relationship and sexual partner. And Aquarius will often fall on the eighth house cusp in a solar natal chart for Cancer. So one or more of these people that Cancer may be involved with intimately can actually be an Aquarius sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply someone that embodies Aquarius-like characteristics. It could be people that are show humanitarian qualities, people very selfless, maybe innovative, ingenious, eclectic, but maybe unorthodox, people that go against the grain, so to speak, may even be somewhat aloof and detached and really hard maybe to get to know very closely. So anyway, and maybe even has a little bit of a rebellious streak in them as well. But that being said, it could also be someone or more than one person might be in an Aquarius-like profession, such as doing something with innovation, aerospace, astronomy, um, even rocket science in some isolated cases. Someone that might work in an esoteric field, such as astrology. It could be somebody involved with computers or electronics. And that being said, as far as the relationship goes, it could be one, as I stated before about the aloof and detached thing, it could be one where maybe the person that someone that Cancer gets involved with intimately might be a little bit aloof and detached, but one where you show a lot of consideration toward each other, as well as Aquarius energy can be very considerate and where you show a lot of selfless giving back and forth perhaps to each other as well. And it could be one where maybe there's something unusual or unorthodox about the connection with this particular person. You know, it could be something where you might, you know, not live together all the time, or there's something somewhat unique about it, given that we're talking about the zodiac sign Aquarius, which can be about the unusual. So anyway, the next thing up is, well, in a now the ninth house in astrology, ninth house represents in-laws and grandchildren. And in a solar or natal chart for Cancer, Pisces will often fall on the ninth house cusp. So this could be one or more of these people, might be a Pisces sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embody Pisces-like characteristics. They could be people that are very compassionate, imaginative, sensitive, idealistic, but yet maybe deceptive and duplicitous, but very passive and malleable. You might see one or more of these people as very weak and submissive and somewhat timid, but also maybe somewhat confused and ambivalent, and maybe there's something that's nebulous about and unclear about one or more of these people to you. Now, it also could be one or more of these people might be in a Pisces-like profession, such as working as a medium, doing something with the metaphysical, which of course can include astrology, doing something like boating, chemistry, photography, pharmaceutical work, working in special effects, illusion, working as a magician, something where illusion figures prominently. And as far as the relationship goes, with these people, generally it could be one that's dominated by self-sacrifice and one where a lot of compassion and empathy is shown as well. But at the same time, it can be one where it might be certain deceptiveness and duplicity could be in it as well. So that's something to look at as far as that goes. Remember, Pisces energy can really be about all-encompassing emotions. So it could be where these people might be very sensitive to what you say to them, but at the same time, you might feel the same way on the other side of the coin. So anyway, well, the next thing up is, well, as far as the 10th house goes in astrology, the 10th house, of course, represents the dominant parent, which is usually the father. Now, the zodiac sign Aries often falls on the 10th house cusp in a solar or natal chart for Cancer. So the dominant parent can at times, could work out where that person has an Aries sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embody Aries-like characteristics. It could be someone that's very fiery, aggressive, assertive, forceful, but very quick-tempered, a person that's fearless, confrontational. Also could be involved, it could also be someone very brusque, abrupt, and outspoken with how they speak. Now, the thing about it, too, is It could also be somebody that might be in an Aries like profession, such as welding, firefighting, arson investigation, working as a paramedic, surgeon, EMT, arson investigation, a person that might teach like an Aries type sport, such as something combative like karate or wrestling or boxing even, working as a gunsmith, law enforcement. So anyway, and as far as the relationship goes with this person, it could often be one where you really can be somewhat confrontational. Sometimes it could be somewhat contentious, but where one is very outspoken and speaks his or her mind, and where both people may often will stand up for each other in a pinch, and really where especially if it's a case where the other person can't, is having difficulty standing up for his or herself, the other person may likely jump in and say, hey, I'm standing up for you. So because Aries energy, though confrontational, can be positive in some ways, because it's not it's not about being overly confrontational. I mean, it could be about willing to stand up for others when it's necessary. So anyway. Well, the next thing up is, well, in the 11th house in astrology represents friends. As far as family connections, as far as relationships go, I mean, you're looking at friends and stepchildren if applicable. And Taurus often falls on the 11th house cusp in a solar or natal chart for Cancer. So this could be one where one or more of these people may have a Taurus sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply be people that may embody Taurus-like characteristics. It could be people that are stubborn, obstinate, unyielding, but yet very persistent and reliable. People that are dependable and that you can really depend on, of course, but very methodical, deliberate, and very ponderous as well. People that might think things over a lot before acting. Very patient as well, and very persevering at the same time. It could also be people that are very industrious and hardworking. Now, the thing about it is, and people that may also be very loyal and steadfast. Now, it could also be one or more of these people may be in a Taurus-like profession, such as working in banking or finance, working as a stockbroker, a pawnbroker, because Taurus energy, of course, is about, knowing the value is connected with values, and pawnbrokers, of course, are astute, of course, in understanding the value of material items. It could be somebody that might be in some kind of cultivating or gardening, so anything that might be Taurus related. Now, as far as the connection goes and the relationship, well, the first thing that I look at is the fact that it could be one where Cancer has with their friends and in stepchildren, if applicable, one where they're very loyal and steadfast to these people, and these people may be the same way toward him or her as well. One that has a lot of persistence. It could be doing the same thing continually. One where really is somewhat predictable, and maybe not a whole lot of excitement, but at least you know what you're getting at with these people. So anyway, well, the next thing up is, well, last but not least, going to the 12th house in astrology. Now, the 12th house in astrology represents the dominant parent siblings. So you're talking about aunts and uncles, and the zodiac sign Gemini will often fall on the 12th house cusp in a solar or natal chart for the zodiac sign Cancer. Now, given that one or more of these people may be a Gemini sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply be someone that embodies Gemini-like characteristics. It could be people that are very whimsical, animated, versatile, dexterous, people that are very good with their hands, multifaceted. Might be people with many sides to them, somewhat mercurial, but yet it could be where you notice like some high-strung or excitable qualities as well. People that might get excited very easily, and animated maybe quicker than about something where you don't really understand necessarily why. It could also be One or more of these people may be in a Gemini-like profession, such as anything communications related, such as broadcasting, writing, data communications, something where there's some kind of public speaking. Other things could be something where dexterity is required, such as working as an auto or refrigeration mechanic, and someone that whatever profession they're in might be really strongly about multi-tasking. But as far as the connection and relationship goes with these aunts and uncles, if applicable, it's one where not necessarily very deep, because Gemini energy could be very much on the surface and superficial, but one where there's really not much monotony, where it might hardly ever be boring, where you strive to have a lot of variety, and it might be a lot of intellectual like type games. I mean, such as chess or Mastermind or even Haiku for the older people out there. You know, like me, I remember that game. And also where you're sensitive to, you show great sensitivity to each other's mental needs. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the zodiac sign Cancer relationships. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be talking about Leo relationships. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.